So today on the workbench we have the 1957 Robby the Robot, but it was sold under the name Mechanized Robot, made by Nomura of Japan. And this isn't the Osaka 10 reproduction. It's mechanically totally different inside. This is the original one with the belt-driven upper pistons and antennas. So it came to me for not working, and once I got in there, found the top light was burned out, so I had to replace that, and it's one of the flat type, so they're not easy to come up with. The motor had a problem with the brushes, not just being dirty or gummed up, but actually they were spread out a little bit too much, so they were very intermittent, wouldn't always run. Even if you started it, if you put a little drag on the motor, it would stop. So I had to take the motor out, take the brushes out, re-bend them in a little bit, and of course clean and lube all that up, and lube up the motor as well. On the switch, which you can't see because I've got the body back on, basically this is the on-off switch, they did a connection through a spring so that a wire wouldn't have to move. But the problem with that is the spring through the last 70 some odd years, they corrode. So it isn't passing full voltage. So go ahead and left that connection there, of course, and added a second wire besides that to pass the voltage. So the switch is now working properly. Of course, I had to replace the belt. And someone had been in the toy before and broken off some of the tabs. And the main reason they were in there before, I guess, was to replace the belt, but they didn't replace it with the right one. You can't put a belt in here that's tight. You see how this loops out? That's how the original toy was. If you pull tight on it, this, which spins really fast, isn't geared down much, will gum up and stop the motor, make gear slip and all kinds of ugly things. So what they use is a real fat belt. It's like 3 millimeter thick or so, to fit the groove and add enough friction so that it would drive. Some of the tabs that were missing were these little ones here. Let's see. Yeah, both those I replaced there. That one is original. No, that one is original, and that's a replacement there. And those are important because they hold these pieces on, which cover a more standard tab connection that takes place right here. One of them was glued on, and the other one still had that one tab holding it, so it was good to go. And of course, these go on the side to interface with all of the tabs, front and rear. Hold everything all together. There's a little piece of rubber. Let's see if the camera's seeing it. If it's not, I'm going to try to move you closer. Yeah, I think you can see it. You see that red right in there? I've replaced, originally had a piece of black rubber, but the original ones always have dried out and crumbled away. And when somebody was in there trying to do a belt replacement before, they'd glued on some foam rubber, which wasn't really round. So I took that out and I put in some silicone tubing. And the silicone's not going to dry up and go away. But see, it provides a, if I lift that up and down, you see that round part in there that goes up and down? So normally when that spins, that'll spin this one, and that way also if a kid grabs this, it isn't going to jam up anything on the inside. So I had to replace that. And I think that's the main things other than me getting ready to put it back together. But if you're not real familiar with the original Mechanized robot, it also was one of the first leg walking robots that would turn. And this foot over here, every time you turn these things, or maybe it's that foot, let's find out. Okay, I don't see that one moving, so let's try this one. There it goes. No, where is it? No, let's go back to this one. I'm pretty sure it's this one. There we go. See how it's turning? So after this is taken X number of steps forward, this will start making the robot kick and jerk and turn. And the idea is that and then it snaps back after it takes enough steps. So it'd be more not having to have a room that's infinitely long like a bowling alley. It can walk back and forth more or less. And actually can't really think of any other robot that did that. Maybe they weren't impressed with how it worked in the end. I don't know. The reason they didn't do it on both is there's no way you'd ever get both feet synced up the same way. So they just did it with the one foot. So whenever that foot would be going forward, it would, you know, jerk and turn a little bit and jerk and turn. Run test. Let's hold this here. So now you can see the pistons, the rotors, lights up green there. And there you can see the belt. I'm going to shut it off here so you can see how those pistons work. See those levers going up and down there? And you can see that red rubber friction drive spinning along. And you can see the flat red lamp I was talking about. It's not easy to find that one, although it looks like there would have been enough clearance to go on there with a regular round domed one and still had it fit. A lot of these mechanized robots didn't have this aluminum metal motor. A lot of them had a plastic motor. Sometimes it was red plastic, sometimes it was black, sometimes it was green. It doesn't matter. The plastic ones didn't even have metal bushings for the motor shaft to sit in. So what happens with those ones, after they run for a while, the metal shaft spinning just in a plastic hole eggs that hole out, and then you know, the motor's pretty much shot unless you can work in a new metal bushing into the plastic part of it to try to save it. But this one at least has the metal motor. So I'm not going to attempt to try to reassemble this with camera, because that's trying to keep it in frame and do all the tabs and everything. It's pretty much impossible. So I'll just do a follow-up video demo of it operating. And in that video, maybe we'll even see that foot making it turn.